Welcome back to our channel. Minimalism is a very common theme on our channel, and today we want to emphasize once again that less stuff in your life can open the door to greater comfort and energy. Reducing clutter, both physical and mental, helps create space for what really matters. Less distraction means more focus, which allows you to channel your energy into areas that bring you fulfillment and joy. In this pursuit of simplicity, pursuing minimalism is not about giving up what's important, but about letting go of what's unnecessary. By eliminating excess, you create space for meaningful experiences, deeper connections, and personal growth. In this video, you'll learn 10 practical strategies for cleaning up your environment, reducing distraction, and creating a clutter-free lifestyle. The first tip to really understand what is essential in life is to try living with much less than you are used to. By deliberately cutting back on possessions and comforts, you create an opportunity to realize what is truly important. This can be eye-opening because it challenges the belief that certain things or habits are necessary for happiness. Take some time to strip away the basics, live with only the bare essentials, and observe how little you really need to feel content. This kind of extreme minimalism can be practiced in many different areas of life, not just material possessions. For example, you can start with your wardrobe. Try reducing it to just a handful of items for a period of time and see how it impacts your day-to-day life. The simplicity that comes with having fewer options often makes decision-making easier, freeing up mental energy for more meaningful pursuits. It's not just about clothes. You can apply this strategy to your schedule, your use of technology, or even your home environment. By temporarily expanding and then refocusing, you allow yourself to reflect on what adds value and what just clutters your life. Over time, you'll find that you can live comfortably with much less, making room for the experiences and connections that matter most. This practice of paring back not only brings clarity, but also a sense of control and peace, enriching your life in unexpected ways. The second tip for pursuing a minimalist lifestyle is self-reflection. This means examining your inner motivations and exploring why certain possessions are so important to you. Ask yourself if you are trying to fill an emotional void with material things, or if you are influenced by external pressures and expectations. Often, people buy things not just for their utility, but also as a way to address deeper insecurities or social norms. For example, some individuals may feel compelled to own the latest gadgets or luxury items to demonstrate status or gain the approval of others. Women may find themselves drawn to countless beauty products due to social norms, while men may feel pressured to own high-end cars. Understanding these underlying motivations can help you make better choices, saving you time, money, and mental energy. By questioning these urges and recognizing their source, you can shift your focus from external validation to internal satisfaction. This awareness is a powerful tool for reducing unnecessary purchases and leading to a more fulfilling life. The third tip is to commit to one goal or task at a time. Whether it's focusing on a single project, mastering a specific skill, or resisting the urge to constantly upgrade your gadgets, the key is to narrow your focus and eliminate distractions. You'll be able to make steady progress toward a clear, purposeful goal without feeling overwhelmed. This can apply to any area of your life. For example, instead of doing multiple hobbies at once, commit to pursuing the one that brings you the most joy or value. allowing you to fully immerse yourself in the experience. In a digital world full of noise, you can simplify by limiting the apps you use, focusing on only those that serve a meaningful purpose. Over time, this approach will help you gain a sense of clarity and help build lasting habits that lead to a calmer, more organized life. The fourth tip is to be clear about what you want and don't want. When you are clear about what you want and don't want, it reduces confusion and prevents unnecessary commitments. The idea is to be direct and honest in all areas of your life. If the goal is to live with less, then clearly expressing your needs becomes an important tool in achieving that simplicity. For example, during the holiday season or special occasions, if material gifts don't fit into your minimalist mindset, it's important to communicate this to friends and family so they understand your preferences. This can extend beyond material items to other areas, such as social activities or commitments. Saying yes to activities or favors that you don't really want to do can lead to stress, overwhelm, and clutter in your schedule. Learning to say no when necessary allows you to protect your time and energy for the things that matter most. Instead of saying yes out of obligation or guilt, be transparent about your boundaries and limits. For example, if someone asks you to help with a task that conflicts with your schedule or priorities, it's better to politely decline than to say yes and overextend yourself. This honesty builds respect and understanding in your relationships, as others begin to believe that when you say yes to something, you mean it. It also encourages others to adopt clearer communication themselves, creating an environment where everyone's needs are better understood. Practicing clear and intentional communication not only simplifies your interactions, it also leads to a more focused and balanced life, where you only spend time on things that truly align with your values. The fifth tip is to intentionally limit the storage space available to you. When your storage options are limited, you'll be less inclined to hoard unnecessary items, helping you maintain a clean and organized living or workspace. Organization is important in homes, such as bedrooms, living rooms, and offices, where a clean environment enhances both comfort and productivity. It's easy to fall into the trap of adding more shelves or buying more storage units, but doing so often turns your home into a cramped, cluttered, and unattractive space. Instead of constantly making room for more stuff, focus on setting boundaries for how much space you dedicate to storing stuff. Once these boundaries are set, you'll have a choice. Get rid of things that no longer serve a purpose, or keep adding new items and dealing with the resulting clutter. This practice helps prioritize what is truly necessary. For example, when curating your workspace, you might decide not to add any drawers or storage solutions under your desk. This boundary ensures that only the most essential items are kept within reach, keeping the area neat and functional. It also promotes a mindful ownership mindset, where everything has a purpose rather than simply taking up space. The sixth tip is to understand the true value of what you own. It's easy to fall into the habit of buying new things just because the old ones are no longer interesting or novel. Over time, familiarity with the items you own can cause you to overlook their value. However, just because something is no longer special doesn't mean it has lost its value or utility. The need to upgrade or replace items often stems from boredom rather than necessity. Before rushing to buy something new, take a moment to reassess the value of what you already have. Instead of throwing things away as soon as they lose their original appeal, try practicing gratitude for their continued functionality. Ask yourself if the item still serves its purpose and whether an upgrade is really necessary. Often, the things we own continue to serve our needs, even when they are no longer new or exciting. For example, you may have an old phone that works perfectly well, even though newer models have come along. If it still serves its purpose, why not keep using it? This type of thinking can help you appreciate what you have and avoid falling into a cycle of endless consumption. To keep things fresh, try creating a personal challenge that fits your lifestyle, which is tip number 7. For example, use the 5x5 rule. Every week, spend 5 days cleaning 5 items in your home, whether it's clothes, kitchenware, or old papers. This system gives you more flexibility because you don't have to clean every day, and it allows you to decide what works for your schedule. The goal isn't to push yourself too hard, but to create a natural rhythm. If you finish cleaning early, you can stop or continue if you feel motivated. This approach makes simplifying your life a fun, self-paced process rather than a chore you dread. Plus, it gives you a tangible sense of progress without feeling overwhelmed. And if you want a longer-term challenge, you can take it a step further by incorporating a monthly reset. Each month, take a weekend to reassess what you've cleaned, making sure you're not letting new items sneak in. This system not only keeps your space clean, but it also helps you stay mindful of what's really important to be important. Tip 8 is to give yourself a 24-hour waiting period before you buy anything that isn't immediately necessary. This simple habit gives you space to reconsider whether the item is truly necessary or just an impulse. By waiting a full day, you allow the initial excitement to subside and allowing you to gain perspective. During that time, ask yourself whether the item adds real value to your life or is just a temporary desire that can lead to unnecessary clutter. Many times, after waiting, you'll find that the impulse to buy has faded and the item is no longer essential. This 24-hour pause not only reduces impulsive spending, but also encourages you to make more thoughtful and intentional decisions about what you bring into your home. Over time, this approach will lead to a tidier environment and better control over your finances and space. The 9th tip is to keep your living space fresh and tidy by adopting the one in, one out rule. Whenever you buy a new item, make a habit of removing an existing item. This approach ensures that your home remains balanced and prevents the accumulation of unnecessary items. For example, if you decide to buy a new gadget or a new piece of clothing, choose an old item to donate, recycle, or throw away. By applying this method regularly, you will maintain a sense of order and avoid the stress that comes with the accumulation of clutter. Remember, every new item comes with the promise of removing something old. Tip 10 is to streamline your meal planning. Instead of creating complicated dishes that require long ingredient lists, focus on meals that use fewer than 5 main ingredients. By keeping your recipes simple, you can save a lot of time when cooking, avoid the chaos that often comes with juggling too many ingredients, and reduce the clutter that builds up in your pantry. Not only that, cutting out extra ingredients also means you're less likely to waste food. Everything you buy is put to good use. Imagine a kitchen that's always organized and easy to navigate, where you don't have half-used ingredients lying around waiting to expire. Simple meals also make cleanup easier, allowing you to enjoy your food without worrying about a sink full of dishes or leftovers going to waste. Over time, you'll find that adopting this approach will help reduce stress in the kitchen and create a more relaxed routine, while still allowing you to enjoy nutritious and delicious meals without the hassle. Tip 11 is to embrace the beauty of emptiness. Instead of constantly trying to fill every nook and cranny in your home, start seeing those open, uncluttered spaces as opportunities for peace and reflection. When your surroundings are less chaotic, your mind can find clarity and calm. Think of it as a peaceful park in the middle of a busy city. It gives you a much-needed break from the noise, allowing you to breathe and relax. Empty spaces shouldn't be seen as unfinished, but as intentional choices that create a more peaceful environment. It's not about filling a room with more stuff to avoid feeling empty. It's about giving yourself the space to appreciate what you do have. In fact, emptiness itself can foster a sense of order and peace, ultimately helping you live more comfortably. If there are areas in your home that feel too empty, try adding something simple, like plants, that can bring life and nature without making the space feel too cluttered. This mindset isn't just about physical space. It's about giving yourself the freedom to let go of the excess and focus on what's truly important. Emptiness doesn't have to be scary. It can be a refreshing change, bringing clarity to both your home and your mind. Learning to embrace this approach can help create a balanced and harmonious living space, free from the pressure to constantly accumulate more. Tip 12 is to learn how to switch from physical clutter to digital organization. Instead of letting papers, documents, or other unnecessary items pile up and take up space, consider digitizing them. By scanning or taking pictures of important but rarely used documents and uploading them to cloud storage, you free up your physical environment while keeping the information accessible whenever you need it. This way, your home remains organized and free of unnecessary paperwork without sacrificing convenience. For example, many people accumulate notebooks full of notes or insights that end up gathering dust, rarely revisited. Instead of letting this valuable knowledge be forgotten, why not store it in a neatly organized digital format? Cloud storage not only provides instant access from anywhere, but also ensures that you won't lose important information. Another great benefit of digitization is that it goes beyond documents. Going digital doesn't mean giving up the tactile pleasure of physical items altogether. It simply encourages a smarter way of managing what matters. By eliminating the need to keep obsolete or unused items, you create space, both mentally and physically, for what really adds value. With less to manage in your living space, you'll find that this approach not only keeps you organized, but also gives you a greater sense of control over your surroundings. Tip 13 is to manage your time effectively and keep your mental space clear. Set a specific daily limit for social media use and stick to it. Set aside a certain amount of time each day, such as 30 minutes in the morning and another 30 minutes in the evening, just for social media. This way, you create boundaries that prevent excessive scrolling and help you focus on more meaningful activities. This simple adjustment not only reduces mental clutter, but also frees up valuable time for activities that bring you greater satisfaction and joy. So, take control of your social media habits and discover how much more you can achieve and enjoy each day. Our 14th tip is to consider the benefits of joining the sharing economy. Instead of owning everything, Start by borrowing things you only need occasionally. There are many platforms today that allow people to rent tools, equipment, or even recreational items for short-term use. Think of it this way. When traveling, people often rent cars instead of buying them. So why not apply the same logic to everyday items, like power tools or specialty items? This approach helps avoid unnecessary clutter and allows you to focus on what really matters. Plus, sharing in a community can be incredibly rewarding. It's not just about borrowing, it's about creating a balanced exchange, giving something of value in return. When sharing resources, try to keep the balance fair. This fosters trust and collaboration without making anyone feel like a burden. Imagine if everyone adopted this mindset. It would foster a culture of mutual support, making life more productive and connected. The final tip is that if your email inbox is overloaded with promotions, newsletters, and irrelevant updates, it's time to take control and create a cleaner, more focused digital space. Instead of letting these distractions pile up, start by regularly cleaning out your inbox. A good strategy is to set aside 15 minutes each week to go through your emails and unsubscribe from anything that's no longer useful to you. Whether it's promotions you're not interested in or newsletters you don't read, removing these unnecessary messages will help ensure that what you receive is more relevant and important to you. Over time, this habit will result in a more manageable inbox that's less cluttered and filled with only the important stuff. Not only does this habit help reduce digital clutter, it also helps reduce the mental fatigue that comes from constantly sifting through unwanted emails. Think about it. When you open your inbox and only see messages that you actually need or want to read, you feel more organized and less stressed. Plus, fewer distractions mean you can respond faster to important messages and spend less time scrolling through junk. Instead of feeling weighed down by a growing list of unread emails, a little maintenance each week can completely transform the way you manage your digital communications. By keeping your inbox organized and free of unnecessary clutter, you're creating a more productive, less stressful digital environment. If you found this tip helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more practical tips, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and here's to living a simpler, more focused life.